In the summer of 2002, Ireland was a special place to be. The Celtic Tiger was roaring, Westlife had just chalked up their 10th number one, and a star-studded squad set sail on a far eastern adventure. But as World Cup fever sweeps the nation, one man refuses to play ball. Captain Roy Keane. From screaming in the dressing room to pre-match benders, this is the story of Roy's meltdown in the Pacific. Welcome back to The Upshot. My name is Jack. Zach is here as ever.
Hello, Jack.
And we are delighted to welcome our guest, Mike Rice.
Yes, brother.
Welcome. This has been one on the wish list for a long, long time.
And for me as well, lad. Yeah, I'm buzzing.
Great to hear. So I guess people will be familiar with you. A lot of our listeners will be familiar from your comedy online.
They'd fucking better be.
At Mike Rice Comedy.
Yes.
Is the account where on Insta, TikTok, everywhere.
Where the truth is told.
Where the truth is told. So this is, for people who aren't familiar, who've lived under a rock for two decades, this is the moment that Ireland's World Cup campaign was ripped apart by a huge bust-up with Roy Keane and Mick McCarthy on either side.
Basically, they got to this training camp that they'd booked in Saipan. So it's basically they were going to go there, kind of relax, train, get ready for the World Cup. Now here's the kind of issue with Irish football in general at that time, and Ireland, is this kind of idea of like kind of glad to be here thing. We're here, the Irish, whoa, we're having a laugh. Come on, we'll go, we'll have a few pints and sure we'll relax a bit. And the whole FAI, the Irish Football Association, they're all over, they're getting fucking pissed in the sun. Ha, nice one. And sure we'll kick a few balls and everything. But then amongst this pack is one of the most competitive serial winners that's ever lived, who wants to win the World Cup. Roy Keane. He wants to win it. He's possibly the greatest captain in the history of football. I think that many people would agree with that.
Also, a seriously good team that year.
Yeah.
Listen, that was the thing. And I mean, what's crazy now is in retrospect, most Irish people are like, we could have won the World Cup. We could have won it. And you're kind of like, you think we were beating Rivaldo, Ronaldinho and Ronaldo? I don't know.
Could have been in the semis. We'll get to the campaign.
We could have been in the semis, but we had a good team. We had Damien Duff at his best.
Yeah.
The best he's ever been. We had a young Robbie Keane. Fucking never trust a striker. Lethal, right? We had Ian Hart, free kick specialist. We had Steve Finnan. We were solid. We were solid at the back. Steve Staunton, Kenny Cunningham. It was a good team. And then we had the fucking greatest captain in the history of the world. Yeah. The greatest leader since Genghis Khan.
A lot in common, actually.
A lot in common. Yeah. We won't go deep. We won't delve too deep into that.
Does everyone in Ireland in 100 years' time is going to be distantly related to Roy Keane?
100%.
At least 6 degrees removed.
I tell you one thing. He did stir up something animalistic in the loins of Irish women, right? For sure.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
He's a good-looking guy, actually.
I never got the impression
in quite a scary way.
Yeah.
I'm trying to use a phrase that isn't horrible here, but like sort of cash that in much.
No, he didn't cash it in much. No, he wasn't like a coxman. He's a family man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. You know what I mean?
Heard that before.
He didn't have an Achilles cock.
Bit of scene setter as well about 2002.
Yeah.
Remember where you were? Remember what the hits were? So I was looking at the charts.
Yeah.
So the two big hits in May 2002, which is when they go to Saipan, are Kiss Kiss by Holly Valance. Do you remember that?
I do. I remember it,
Absolute
brother.
banger.
That I think I came online sexually. That video.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember.
Because she was naked, but there were like lights.
There were strobe lights over her bits, and it really, it got everyone in.
And online you could pause. I feel I had an ability to pause at certain, or maybe I was looking at stills. Anyway, sorry, it's going down a hole there. That's number one. Eminem's Without Me.
Oh, sick.
It's sort of fitting for what happens for Roy Keane, actually. A bit of an anthem.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Ireland's just got the Euro that year, January that year. So again, feels like a big sort of transition in vibes. Although not all good news for Ireland, because obviously the nation is in mourning for the Queen Mother.
That hit us hard.
Yeah, that was
one of your favourite royals, right?
That's right.
People's.
I remember I had apple tart and custard. I was like, I can't eat that. I just
not today.
Not today. Not this year.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. So tough place, but we all remember that year. And Irish football's in a good place.
Yeah. So previous decade had been like you said, it's a bit of a golden era for Irish football. When it came to World Cups, at least, they qualified in 1990, 94.
Yeah.
And did well both times.
Did well both times. Bet Italy. Fucking Ray Houghton's chip that he didn't really mean. But he kicked it and it went over their head and went in. 1990, I mean, like, just captured the imagination of the country in a way that, like, that's still talked about. Like, we had a population boom the next year. People were shagging like rabbits.
Was Jack Charlton, was it pretty ramshackle under him?
Yeah.
Wasn't he? He's quite a laid back fella, wasn't
he? He was very tolerant of the old boozing as well. They'd be like going out. There was an interview you got actually of Roy Keane talking about the like drinking culture when they came to Ireland camps. Tells it pretty well.
Yeah.
We used to turn up with Ireland on a Sunday night, and we'd have an international qualifying for the World Cup on a Wednesday. So we get into Sunday night, Jack and all this, and I was only a young player. And the senior players, I'm on about Paul McGrath, Kevin Moore, and Andy Townsend, all this, and I'd be sitting there going, Jack, can we go tonight? And Jack go, look, lads, big game on Wednesday, can we just go? All right, lads, try and be back for about midnight. Like midnight. We're playing on Wednesday. Well, Jack, and I'd be sitting there going, I'll go for a few pints. But this is about 6 o'clock. You still have 6 hours drinking. Jack, 12's a bit awkward, if you're out at 12 in Dublin, any chance you went, 2 o'clock, lads. 2 o'clock, be back for 2 o'clock, that's it. But Jack, if you're out at 2, you're obviously in a nightclub. If you stay out till 2, that means you're not gonna leave a nightclub, do you? Look, I'll see you in the morning for training, and that was it. We'd come in at 7, 8 in the morning, and Jack would push training back to the afternoon because we'd sleep off the hangovers.
I mean, it's just so funny. Keane is such a funny storyteller as well. Like, he really gets it just right too. Then, I'll see you in the morning.
Push it back.
It does work though for them.
He kind of respects.
Yeah, he's sort of the.
Well, he does and he doesn't. Like, because in his book, he kind of has he has a few jabs at Charlton. Like, he got in some little spats with him. Like, this is actually the start of him and Mick McCarthy's kind of feud, you will say, or disliking of each other. One night in the Ireland camp or wherever they're playing a few games, himself and Steve Staunton went on the lash, Keno, and there are shots, pints, and they were meant to come back and meet everyone at the bus at, like, we'll say whatever, 10 o'clock. And anyway, they come back like 45 minutes late, an hour late, fucking pissed. And anyway, they arrive back, and then Charlton is like, you fucking, kept everyone waiting, fish and chip gone cold. He's like getting angry. And then, like, apparently Roy Keane, just typical Roy, he's little bollocks. Like, he's just like, I never fucking asked anyone to wait. I didn't ask you to wait. And then, like, just storms onto the bus. Like, you have to also acknowledge at times, like, Keane is a nightmare. You know what I mean? He is a nightmare. But so anyway, he goes down to the back of the bus. Anyway, Keane fucking chewing on a wasp, just fucking head on him. And next thing, Mick McCarthy, who was the captain at that time, comes down to him and he's just like, you're out of line. That will proper bang out of order. And he goes, oh, you ever fuck off, Mick. Do you know what I mean? He's such a little
because that's
shit.
the start of all the animosity.
Yeah.
Because doesn't Keane say that was the first time I'd ever spoken to Mick McCarthy, because you just don't chat that much in international.
I wonder
breaks.
if he then,
That's
when
right.
Mick McCarthy became manager, if he was then out to get Keane a little bit and
There's
just like
some
put him
suggestion
back
that
in
from
his
that
box.
moment he holds a grudge.
Yeah, I think a little bit. I think they didn't treat Keane the way they should have treated Keane.
Which is lay out the red carpet.
Lay out the red carpet. You're the king.
Yeah.
Who do you think should play?
Yeah, do the Fergie
You know what I
Cantona thing.
Yeah.
Just make him God.
Yeah. So anyway, rewinding a little bit. So Mick McCarthy takes over 96. So Ireland had failed to qualify for the Euros under Jack Charlton. He resigns.
Yeah.
And Mick's like a pretty new manager at this point. He'd done a few years with Millwall, player manager there initially, which is very 90s.
Yeah.
And to begin with, they're decent but a bit unspectacular. Narrowly failed to qualify for the World Cup in 98 and 2000 Euros. But by the time the 2002 World Cup rolls around, they're ranked 13th in the world.
Right.
So yeah, it's like a really talented Irish squad.
Yes.
Great footballers in there, but they also had a penchant for partying a bit. They liked the booze.
Back on the pitch. So as we said, amazing qualifying campaign.
Yeah.
They finished unbeaten in a group with Portugal and the Netherlands.
Yes.
Second place.
Mm-hmm.
Roy Keane instrumental in that. And obviously the most famous game is this win over the Netherlands in Dublin,
brother.
which knocks the Netherlands out, right?
Yeah.
They're out the World Cup. I
Done.
mean, that's a huge team to put out.
That's right.
And some say it's Roy's best ever game in the green shirt.
Yeah, he was unbelievable for that game and the Portugal game. I mean, he rarely gave a bad performance.
Yeah.
I mean, famously Keane. But like that opening tackle, like 10 seconds in, that little shit over Mars, you know what I mean?
Set the tone.
Yeah. Running up the line, he's like, look how quick I am, Keane. Bang. See you later, you little shrimp. And the whole of Lansdowne Road is like, ah! You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's iconic.
Yeah.
And then, obviously, you know, McAteer's goal was great. And sure, something so funny about McAteer, because you just know how thick he is. But like then you see him score the goal and you're like, do you know what? He's actually, you know.
Yeah, and of all the people to score, it's quite a nice. There's quite a funny story about that he's, McAteer said that after the game, he got a phone call from Bono. Because U2 had been showing it on the big screens, right? They had a gig at, what's the castle called? Slane Castle. Had a gig there. They've been showing it before the game. They obviously win. McAteer scores the goal. And Bono calls him and is like, I've got a helicopter waiting to take you from Lansdowne Road. I want you to come on stage with me. And McAteer thinks it's a fucking wind-up and just goes, sorry, I'm going out drinking with John Aldridge. Says no. And then, McAteer says, I watched the DVD later of this gig, and there's a moment, I mean, I've got the clip, I think. There's a moment where Bono wraps himself in an Irish flag and says, imagine Jason McAteer. And basically the plan was that McAteer would have come out at that moment, which would have been amazing.
Close your eyes and imagine it's Jason McAteer.
Like at that moment, McAteer was meant to walk on.
Imagine McAteer watching this just with a pint, John Aldridge beside him, just like,
Just like,
fuck.
sake.
I thought it was a prank! God!
Anyway, the vibes after that game obviously are amazing. Everyone's so excited, but there are rumours starting to surface that Roy and Mick McCarthy don't see eye to eye. We obviously mentioned that original sin that Mick committed that led to this feud, but there is a picture taken after the game showing the pair of them are shaking hands, but the body language isn't good, is it? They're not looking in the eye. Mick's sort of leaning over, making the effort, and Roy's giving him a cursory, he's not even looking at him.
Nah.
Apparently that picture wasn't published for 9 months until after the whole incident unfolded and people realised the significance.
That's right.
But it comes to be like quite an iconic.
This is a completely iconic picture in Ireland. And Roy, I mean, it is just typical Roy, because Roy even like talking about that game was like, you know, after everybody's hollering and hooping, he's just like, that's not my cup of tea. You know, he's just like, you know, we won the game. All right, let's focus. We haven't won any tournament yet. And you're like, part is just like, Roy, will you ever cop on?
Yeah, just enjoy it.
Give someone a hug, pump your fist, stop being so eternally miserable. Good God. Do you know what I mean? And Roy was like, because people forget, because we got really funny Roy now, kind of cuddly at times, tickling me, Richards, and, you know, saying baby, and we're having a laugh. We forget what an utterly miserable, like just completely incapable of just any sort of joy. This man, for 10, 15 years.
So the rumours are starting to circulate among journalists. It becomes sort of a bit better known that the pair of them, Mick and Roy, don't get on, but the public have no idea. And as I said, that picture doesn't really get used. Anyway, so as you said, as Roy pointed out, they're still not through to the World Cup. Second place gets you a playoff against Iran, who, no mugs, famously.
No
Previous
mugs,
World Cup, they
and even at the time, people were like, are they developing a nuclear weapon? We didn't know.
Exactly, don't fuck with them. And so you win this game in Dublin, great, and then you've got to go to Tehran.
That's right.
Tough place
Tehran
to go.
away, that is a tricky one.
That's
one
right.
of the most exotic away days imaginable, actually.
Yeah.
Actually, Roy can't play in the Tehran leg because he's injured.
Right.
So Ireland go, they just need a draw. And fortunately, they do the business. It's 0-0. They see it out. Nervy, but got the result. So the kit man said of the moment they qualified in Iran, he said, I'd have kissed the Ayatollah and the Shah of Iran if they'd come near me that night. It was so special.
Don't do that in Iran.
That's the one thing you shouldn't do.
It's a good thing they didn't come near him. It would have been a great clip, just the Ayatollah. Just the little kit man just trying to finger the Ayatollah. Just like, what is going on? He's like, I'm happy we won.
This is how we say thanks in my
This
country.
is how I express my happiness.
So as we said, expectations in Ireland are high, and rightly so. And actually the squad record a song. This is sort of the back end of the era of team songs, isn't it?
Team songs.
Team song.
So
called
funny.
Here Comes the Good Times.
This Irish team has achieved a magnificent success. It's going to be a magnificent trip. Iran 1, Ireland 2, and Ireland on the way to the World Cup.
Roy, if he acknowledged this was being happening, I mean, there'd be steam coming out of his ears.
Yeah.
He'd be fucking.
Do you think they would
eating
just
a table.
whoever got the job of calling him up was just like, yeah, he didn't pick up. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I tried
Leave a message.
tried loads of times.
Lift up, put straight back down. Roy's out. Roy's dead, I think. I don't think we're ever going to
Leave a
see Roy
voicemail.
again.
So they're heading off, and McCarthy decides that rather than just going straight to Japan, where it's fucking hot, you're going to be jet lagged, and there's going to be quite a lot of media glare there because the world's football media is there. He's like, let's acclimatise, let's go sort of 3/4 of the way there.
Yes.
And he identifies the tiny island in the Pacific of Saipan.
When you say identifies, as if he had an atlas out and goes, we must conquer here first.
In the war room.
Yes.
Or maybe he chucked a dart at a globe. He might
Yes.
as well have, given what happened next. Because it sounds on paper perfect. Like I said, it's got the climate.
Yeah.
It's a US territory. It's sort of hotels, casinos, white sand beaches. It's quite like beautiful. But it's secluded. So it kind of sounds perfect. As we'll see, that's not necessarily the right call. First of all, it's not an easy place to get to.
Yeah.
So it's 22 hours flying, 2 layovers. And Roy Keane is used to, Man United got their own jet.
That's right.
So when they fly, it's like private. And suddenly he says, I'm going to attempt an accent. Here we go. The trip is a shambles from the beginning. This is when Mike walks out.
Yeah.
Dublin Airport is packed.
This is my Saipan.
Dublin Airport is packed. You can't move. We hump a month's luggage through the main concourse. Check ourselves in. We're travelling KLM, going the scenic route via Amsterdam, Tokyo, fans, journalists, players, officials, all mingling together. The package tour image comes to mind again. Amid the chaos, the Taoiseach, Bertie Ahern, arrives to give us a send-off.
That was dog shit. That was
Too
dog
much
shit.
going for the high pitch.
No, Roy is like Cork, so, it's just
okay.
Cork's more like that.
What I really love about that is his disgust that Bertie Ahern
Yeah.
is
surely that's some
lowering
nice-
himself to go into the airport. Because again, for him, that's like, it's a bit village, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
It's like,
This is not your job.
yeah.
You're supposed to be running the country. You're down here making small talk with Damien Duff.
I sort of get it.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like,
of course.
If you're like, I want this to be professional, I don't want us to feel a bit like, oh, we're giving it a go.
That's
Then
right.
having the fucking Taoiseach coming down to like,
It's just kind
cut
of
the
like
ribbon.
parochial,
Yeah.
kind of like
Village is a word people might use. Yeah.
100%. Just way of like just being like, it's almost like condescending. Come on, lads.
Yeah.
You're off on your big trip, are you?
Give it a go.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Well, on the flight, Roy, he's in a pretty bad mood for the reasons he's just given, but he does manage to distract himself by watching the Will Smith film about Muhammad Ali on the flight. And he actually says that this becomes a big inspiration for him in Saipan because there's this scene where Muhammad Ali turns down the draft to go to Vietnam. He refuses and goes to jail instead. And Roy's like, that really inspired me.
Absolute nightmare that was one of the movies on the plane.
Yeah. No, also, normally on a plane, it's like you got to watch like 50 First Dates or some rom-com.
Yeah.
Who put that in Roy Keane's entertainment? Because he does not need more inspiration to...
No, you need to be curating what Roy can watch. You don't want to be getting Roy fired up.
Yeah.
You don't want Braveheart coming on. You
No,
don't want.
no.
You want him simmer down. A bit of Zoolander or something.
Yeah.
Get him in a silly.
Is there a good
goose
film
mood.
about someone
Pixar
just following
movies,
orders?
yeah.
When I can think of a few. Weird, these films are all...
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
Is there a Lord of the Flies adaptation? Because it does get a bit
It gets
like that on
very Lord of the
Saipan, doesn't
Flies.
it?
Yeah, fucking
Tropical
does, yeah.
Island,
yeah.
car crash of a...
Yeah, I'm trying to think of a film that would have been appropriate, but just rom-coms, just easy
Yeah,
watching.
or just something where someone like respects the authority of their senior and it works out really well.
Schindler's List. Yeah. Anyway, the journalists on the flight who are sitting in economy, they do notice that Roy's in a bad mood because at one point he dips out of business to go down to cattle class and abuse a couple of the journos they'd criticised him for missing. Niall Quinn had a testimonial that year and Roy didn't play in it.
That's
Probably because he
right.
was injured.
Yeah.
And he'd got a lot of shit for that as well. Or some shit.
Yeah, he did, but like in Roy's head, he'd even think a testimonial is just like, what a load of nonsense. Babies, you're finished your career. go home,
Get a job.
get a job, work in a bank. Don't be wasting our time. You know, he has just such a mental attitude about anything extracurricular to just the league, the qualifier. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's quite puritanical, isn't it? It's
It
just
is like Cromwellian.
Yeah.
He wouldn't like that.
Funnily enough.
He said.
I wouldn't have thought that. Like Presbyterian.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he's down there dishing out abuse to the journos. I think he's like muttering under his breath how angry, like the whole setup he's not happy about
Yes.
already. And they do, after 22 hours, eventually arrive in Saipan. They had this stopover in Tokyo that won't have improved Roy's mood at all. And they finally arrive alongside the media at their training base. And on their first day there, the FIA decides to host a barbecue for the players and the press, which, you know, the idea is that it's going to sort of break the ice. It's, you know, going to build this relationship between the players and the media. Roy leaves early. It's not his kind of vibe.
Yeah.
He's teetotal as well at this point.
But he'd also just be like, buns and burgers. Come on.
Come on, Wesley.
Get real. Like, you're like, you know what I mean? It's just food,
But
right?
what could you serve
Yeah.
at that
I know.
barbecue that he would have approved of?
I don't just plain rice and chicken, no sauce, just like good fuel for the body.
Yeah.
You know, get people in the right state of mind. But he's just anything he's gonna have a problem with. People drinking Capri Suns, give me a break. You know what I mean? He's just disgusted by you know.
Yeah. He'd definitely not approve of what happened next as well, because Roy heads off to bed. But when the barbecue wraps up, half of the squad and the media head out to the Beefeater pub nearby, where they're on the piss till 5 a.m.
Sorry, this tiny Pacific island has got a
got-
Beefeater pub.
Got an English pub, yeah. Yeah, so I don't know. Roy's already steaming about
Yeah,
this.
just down at an
And-
English pub.
Yeah,
Give me a break.
an English pub. That is salt in the wound, really, isn't it?
I
Absolutely.
mean, it's a poor
got-
choice. Even
yeah.
I'm a bit shocked by that.
Yeah, they've got a picture of the Queen Mother up on the wall.
Yeah, surely go to a rum shack or something. I don't know what.
Yeah. Or there surely has to be some Irish bar there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give
There's
them
always an
your
Irish bar.
business. Come on. You know?
So following day,
Mm-hmm.
Ireland squad are presumably waking up a bit bleary-eyed, and they've got their first training session. And as soon as they get down to the pitches, it dawns on them that all is not well. And you know, you mentioned it before.
Yeah.
They get down there, and unanimously the players agree that this is the worst pitch they've ever seen. It's bone dry. Keane is losing the plot at this point. And there's a FIFA liaison officer who's there to meet the squad. And Keane goes up to him and is like, what the fuck is going on with this pitch? And the officer tells him, well, we would have watered it if anyone told us you were coming.
Fuck's sake.
And even worse than that, none of their kit has arrived. It's been stuck on the wrong plane. It's probably it's still in Tokyo. Haven't even got any balls to play with.
No balls.
And
So what do you do to train if you haven't got balls?
they're just first day is just like shuttle runs.
Or just
Doing-
do
doing,
like in the
long
movie
distance.
Hook, you know, where the kids
Yeah,
all
what
just imagine.
pretend?
Yeah.
Just imagine there's balls. Come on, Roy.
Yeah.
Use your imagination. Yeah.
So they're just doing laps.
They're just doing laps of the
budget.
track, which
Yeah.
is village. Roy describes it as happy camper mode.
Yeah. Happy camper mode with no real ambition. Settling for second best. Give me a break.
I like that you're adding in your own,
Yeah,
your own
maybe-
little twist. You're in
maybe
your own
it's-
character.
Maybe it's got to be called "Give Me a Break."
Give me a break.
Come on, the babies.
Babies.
Anyway, by the time day 3 of this trip goes around, but you'd think Roy's hoping that by this point they're fully into the swing. Everyone's fitness levels are high. They're getting onto tactical
Yeah.
work. Obviously, they still haven't kicked a ball yet.
They've got like a
and-
beach ball from a shop or something.
Yeah. But on the,
McAteer's like now like a mummy with toilet roll all around.
Actually covered up.
so the third day they turn up to the pitch. Obviously they've had a go at them about how dry the pitch
Yeah.
is. So they turn up there thinking, you know, hopefully it's going to be sorted out. They find the pitch as dry as ever, except for one corner which is completely flooded.
Waterlogged.
Yeah.
I mean, it is. It's like Faulty Towers.
Yeah.
It is
Do you reckon
amazing.
it's because the pitch is on like a slope and all the water's
Yeah.
just...
Yeah, I guess so. On the plus side, the balls have finally turned up, so
Good.
they can have a little bit of a kickabout.
Yeah.
Still only got one set of goalposts, so that's a bit of an issue.
It is the
but,
World Cup.
You know,
Got a ball.
they can at least do their rondos. Start training. Jason McAteer instantly picks up this injury. Pitch is bone hard. Like it's no surprise. Like you said, he's wrapped up in toilet paper because they got no bandages.
Yeah.
And at the end, once they've had their kickabout, they decide they want to play this five-a-side game, and only one set of goals, so it's jumpers on the pitch.
Yeah.
It's like a little kickabout in the park, but yeah, the goalkeepers refuse because they're too tired.
Which is hilarious as well.
Yeah.
Just like, we're too tired to standing goal for this. Lads, they were on the fucking lash.
It's a
to go on.
five-a-side game.
Also,
Come on.
you're a keeper.
You're a keeper. You're
Let them run.
Yeah. Let's not pretend ye do much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Fuck's sake.
Yeah, and they've only had one set of goalposts to be training with, so they can't have been doing that
And
much.
they're tired from
There's
the-
3 of them. They're taking it turns.
Tired from the boozing
Anyway.
and the weather.
Yeah. That barbecue, the hot dogs are really coming back up now.
The coleslaw is starting to fucking
Yeah.
congeal in the stomachs of the keepers.
The Beefeater pubs, Yorkshire pudding.
Yeah. And Roy Keane loses it with Alan Kelly, the reserve goalkeeper, and they have this massive row in front of all the journalists, which is not good
Not
for
ideal.
morale.
And him and Alan Kelly was like probably Roy's closest friend.
Oh, really?
As well within the squad, yeah. Like
How
he was
close is that?
Not close at all. But like literally someone he might say hello to if he made eye contact with them was Alan Kelly. So he was one of his like only kind of semi-allies. So that's important too to know.
Didn't realise that.
Yeah. So he's feeling isolated. He's not on the same wavelength as anybody else there. And later that day, Roy decides he's had enough. He pulls Mick McCarthy aside, says he's had enough of the team's third world approach. And he's going home, which, to be fair, when you
haven't been
list
with
off
him.
all those things, like it's like, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
when he's used to
Yeah.
Man United's training setup.
Yes.
It's a third world approach, really.
Yeah.
So he announces that he's going home.
Yeah.
Colin Healy gets briefly called up in his place, but Keane's back in his room and he's mulling over this decision. Is it the right thing to do? And he gets a phone call from his Man United boss, Sir Alex Ferguson, who convinces him. He's like, "Look, Roy, you're going to regret this.
That's
This is you don't get too many chances. You're 31 now, and
It's your last one.
this is going to be your last World Cup. So just bite the bullet and go back." And Roy agrees. So Colin Healy stood down. Poor old Colin Healy. I don't know
Poor
what
old Colin Healy.
Colin Healy's halfway across the Pacific. And is,
Just stuck by the phone.
Changed in Amsterdam.
Yeah.
That kind of looked like it might be the end of it, right? Because Fergie's influence is strong.
Yes.
And maybe it would have been if the Irish Times hadn't persuaded Roy to give his now infamous interview, which he says, "I'm going to tell the truth, exactly what I felt." And Mike, do you want to do the quote?
Yeah.
I've retired.
our resident Roy is.
There's things you can't accept. That kind of pitch, no training kit, no balls, a 20-hour flight, and there's no skips containing the team's training kit. Give me a break, baby. You wonder why players get injured? Well, playing on a surface like that, I can't imagine any other countries in the world who are far worse off than us playing on something like that. Give me a break, baby. But we're the Irish team. It's a laugh and a joke. Alex Ferguson is someone I respect in football. He's the only person I'd listen to.
Which that's seen as like a dig at Mick.
Oh,
isn't it?
of course
I mean,
it's a dig at Mick. Straightforward dig at Mick. Obviously wouldn't listen to that clown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's going for him now.
He's gone, yeah.
There is quite. It's not all doom and gloom in that interview because he does lighten it up a little bit. This next bit.
We had a lovely day yesterday. We went up to a lovely suicide cliff and learned the history. He would love that, you see. I enjoyed that. That's the nice side of it. But I keep saying to everyone, we're here to prepare for the World Cup. I was going to go back home there today. I was going to go back up there today to that cliff, that suicide cliff. Add an Irishman to the list. What? What? In God's name. There's so many funny things here. First off, his idea of things really picking up is going to a suicide cliff. That is the level of misery we're talking about with Keane.
Yeah.
So apparently, I looked into Suicide Cliff. It's where during the war, it was a Japanese territory at that point.
Yeah.
The Japanese locals, rather than surrender to the Americans, all jumped off the cliff.
Right. That's mad.
Just in case you wanted that history.
Roy would have loved that.
Yeah.
First he sees Ali, now the suicide thing. There's a lot of bad information going in Roy's head, you see.
It's another stone they should have.
That's right. There's a lot of kind of self-sacrificial, fall on your own sword shit that's going on. That's just,
Yeah, he didn't need to hear about that.
He
either,
didn't
did
need to hear about that.
People sticking up for their principles so much
No
they
way.
die.
That they die. Fuck's sake. He need to be hearing stories of like weasels who bent their morals.
Yeah,
you know?
there's plenty of stories of Japanese loyalty to authority that would have worked there.
Oh, fuck's sake. Yeah.
Well, it's good that he can drop a joke in. A macabre joke.
He is funny, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's no doubt
That's
about
the thing,
that.
all these interviews, you're like, I do just love that someone would talk so fucking honestly.
Yeah.
And he's got wit.
Yeah, he does say in a later interview that like he throws in like after he left Saipan, he'd be like, yeah, if I was the manager, he'd be like, the players would hate me, but the facilities would be top notch.
And it'd be Suicide Cliff every morning.
Yeah, every morning straight to the suicide cliff.
And Roy's appreciation for Japanese history is about to go even further because he's about to have the kind of meltdown Japan has not seen since 1945. So the next day, Mick McCarthy receives a copy of this interview, and unsurprisingly, he goes mental.
Yeah.
Like he's completely, he's gone behind his back, given this interview. He's ripped apart the Federation and Mick McCarthy's preparation. And, that's the kind of thing you just, even if you have those things, your managers like, just keep it in the camp.
That's right.
We'll batten down the hatches. Yeah. So Mick is fuming and he calls a team meeting where he invites the rest of the squad to air their concern, air their grievances.
What a fucking stupid idea
So,
that was.
Basically, I mean,
You're cornering a homicidal Rottweiler.
He's already paranoid.
You're cornering him while you're just wearing nothing but mincemeat. And you're cornering. It's just crazy to treat Keane this way.
All you had to do was be like, you're right, let's start fresh.
Right. Crazy.
Well, if he set himself up for a nasty situation, then he makes it even worse when he accuses Roy in front of the entire squad of faking an injury to get out of that second leg playoff against Iran. And for Roy, this is the final straw.
I mean, he's hustle, loyalty, respect, and you're accusing him of just grand larceny, grand cowardice to Keane, the man who loves the suicide cliff. You know what I mean? Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. So one anonymous attendee of this meeting said the meeting lasted 10 minutes and about 8 minutes of it was Roy. And this is a rough transcript of what he said.
Okay, I'll give this a go. Mick, you're a liar. You're a fucking wanker. I didn't rate you as a player. I don't rate you as a manager. And I don't rate you as a person. You're a fucking wanker and you can stick your World Cup up your arse. I've got no respect for you. The only reason I have any dealings with you is that you somehow are the manager of my country. You can stick your World Cup up your bollocks. Baby. Baby.
So my main question about that is always, stick it up your bollocks. Is that a phrase before...
Stick it up your arse, isn't it?
Yeah.
But to Roy, heat at a moment.
Is that so? Did he invent that phrase there?
Yeah, he just didn't land the plane. Like, he was walking away after. He's like, stick it up your bollocks. What am I talking about? It's up your arse.
But in a way, it actually becomes the iconic line of the whole thing. For me,
Yeah.
stick it up your
Stick
bollocks.
it up your bollocks.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
He's driving forward the language.
Yeah.
Really.
And it shows the
And-
rage that he's like, just words are spitting out.
They said, like, because Niall Quinn wrote in his autobiography that he has never seen a more succinct and thorough dismantling of a man than Keane. He just went stream of consciousness for 8 minutes, attacking his character, talent, ability, Irishness. We'll see on the next line.
What is the line on the Irish?
So there are some reports of this conversation where Roy said to him, "You're nothing but an English cunt."
Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't know. There's that has been rebuffed a bit since. So I mean, if he didn't say it, he definitely thought it.
Does Mick say it?
No, Mick doesn't say it to Roy, obviously, because Roy.
No, I mean, does Mick say that Roy said it?
I think that there was just whatever things got leaked back that Roy said it, but there's no doubt Roy would have like that's not beyond the pale for Roy. You know what I mean? Just like you're not even from here, baby.
Because Mick is what? He's got Irish parents. He's from Barnsley.
Yeah, he's from Barnsley.
He's got the accent. He's got a Yorkshire accent.
He's got a Yorkshire accent, but like he's captained the country. He's, do you know what I mean? Like he's managed a team for, you know, his parents are Irish. It's like
He's called Mick McCarthy.
He's called Mick McCarthy. He's not Indian, is he? You know what I mean? He's not from Bangladesh. Like he's
He, whether or not he calls him an English cunt, he's ripped Mick to shreds in front of
everyone.
all the
Oh
players.
yeah. Eviscerated him.
Do you think by this point there's no coming back from that?
I think so. Yeah, I mean, he's pressed the self-destruct button on the entire.
At the end,
team,
let's reflect
basically.
on what was the latest he could have come back.
Yeah, and with that little monologue, he turns and walks out of the room. And again, this anonymous attendee who's probably too afraid to. They're in like a witness protection scheme.
Kevin Kilban in a witness protection scheme. Just,
They have to scramble his voice.
He's got a new name now.
a little mustache and a wig.
So you know when they do it on the news and the person's like sat in the shadows.
Yeah, that's right.
Actor's voice.
But this anonymous attendee says, Mick then spoke, apologising to the lads for what had happened. Next to speak up was Gary Kelly, asking the lads to give 3 cheers for the gaffer.
Kelly, you worm.
I'm starting to see why this anonymous attendee is keeping their
God, I
themselves.
would love to hear those cheers. They must have been pretty.
Yeah.
Three cheers
Make sure
for the gaffer.
they're just listen. Check.
Just you're a shit manager. You're a shit player. Whatever. Then he leaves. 3 cheers for the gaffer.
Should we sing for He's a Jolly Good Fellow?
Happy birthday to you.
It's not my birthday.
Yeah.
It's not my fucking birthday.
Let's just say it is, gaffer. Happy birthday.
It's like the tamest way to G someone back up. 3 cheers.
Can you imagine Roy on the other side of the door as well, hearing that? For fuck's sake.
Give me a break.
Briggs, bunch of babies.
It is quite babyish.
Yeah.
3 cheers is pretty babyish.
Yeah. But yeah, this half-hearted cheer goes up. And then apparently after this, there was silence again until Dean Keeley,
Yeah.
the sub-goalkeeper, breaks the ice by saying, if you're short of a midfielder, gaffer, I could do a job in there.
Yeah.
Quite funny. Funnier.
Pretty funny, but like after losing one of the best players in the world, it's like put a sock in it, Kylie. Join in on the happy birthday song and putting a sock in it.
So that is the relationship well and truly broken.
Yeah.
Jason McAteer goes to Roy's room to confront him and basically be like, you're out of order. He says it's partly that and partly also that he lent Roy his DVDs. And he's like, fuck, if Roy's leaving, I need to get...
He lent his Father Ted DVD to Roy.
Training Day, Father Ted. Mission Impossible back. So he goes to the room and he's like, Roy, can we chat? And also, have you got my DVDs? Apparently Roy's just like, fuck off, I'm not coming out. Refuses to speak to him.
Yeah.
And McAteer, reflecting on it later, said, great, now we have a World Cup to play without one of the best midfielders in the world and no DVDs. Feel like he's more annoyed about the DVD.
Yeah.
Has to watch Only Fools and Horses now. He's just disgusted.
So then Mick has to call this press conference just to, get control of this story before it spirals.
Yeah.
And he decides, I'm going to address the press, tell them that I'm sending Roy home.
Yeah.
So I'm the one in authority. He's not leaving. He's fired. And he decides to back it up. He's going to bring Alan Kelly, Steve Staunton and Niall Quinn. So senior players.
Yeah.
And Alan Kelly.
Senior players and Alan Kelly. Well, Alan Kelly's there because Alan Kelly was always just a reserve keeper, really, but he's kind of older.
Part of the furniture.
Part of the old guard. That's right.
So it's the senior players.
Yeah.
United
also, after
front.
that row, he's probably on Mick's side, right? The row with Roy.
Yeah, he's like, he caught my feelings,
fuck it,
actually.
So it's United front.
I was tired.
Yeah. I was bloody we were at the Beefeater till 6 a.m. doing Sambuca. This cunt wants me to go and go for a 5-a-side. No, thank you.
See you later.
We were back to the beef. We had told the Beefeater staff we were going to be back at 4. We didn't have time. Think of the Beefeater.
Surprised they didn't bring McAteer, actually, just with his portable DVD player. Empty. Empty DVD cases. Anyway, so they tell the press, and the journalists are fucking astonished. Like, they knew things were bad. They'd seen the odd bit.
Yeah.
But they can't believe this. Roy Keane's going home from the World Cup.
Yeah.
Captain. Some of the questions, apparently, they're like, is Roy mentally all right? I think he's had a breakdown.
Yeah.
And then they're asking Mick, like, are you going to get lawyers involved?
After the suicide cliff visit. I guess we heard what he said about the suicide cliff.
Yeah. I guess they're worried.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, is Roy mentally okay? Have you ever seen Roy, heard Roy? No, he's obviously
He never has been.
Is now and has always been completely out of his bin. But he's good, isn't he?
Yeah.
You know.
So then RTE, I think there's some of the press conferences. RTE have got a video on YouTube called "A Day That Shook the Nation,"
Yeah.
which is about the day it happened.
It's like 9/11.
Yeah, is it kind of?
It was our 9/11. I'm not joking. This was, I thought about this the other day. This shook the nation to its foundations.
Yeah.
We were all in horror, like.
I was looking on Reddit and someone was talking about it, and they said, I was at school. Our teacher only ever brought the TV out for 2 moments ever while I was at school. One was 9/11 and the other was Saipan.
That's right. I was the exact same.
Wheeled it out.
Yeah. Wheeled it out. Although we had it out for when Ireland played Germany in the World Cup, but we'll go into that. We'll get to that later.
So I think we got some of the press conferences here. We got Mix. We got Roy talking as well.
Roy Keane and controversy have been fellow travellers for most of his professional career, but his expulsion from the Republic of Ireland squad a week before the World Cup finals is nothing short of astonishing. Having threatened to leave the squad a couple of days ago, he was persuaded to change his mind by, among others, his Manchester United manager Alex Ferguson. This morning, as he declared his intention to retire from international football at the end of the World Cup, he lashed out at the Republic of Ireland's police for
Everyone laughing hysterically.
describing their training pitch in
Just a
Saipan
dark
as
Smacked
cloud.
arse.
A lot of people say, well, it's typical of Roy, and Roy should really shut up, but I can't, especially if I'm captain of the team. We come over here, we travel halfway across the world, and the training pitch is a disgrace. And somebody's got to hold a hand up and say, it's like training on a car park. Bloody rock hard. You've had 1 or 2 injuries already, and I expect a few more.
Expect a few more.
So what are you planning?
Planning a few more. Planning to dislocate my hip, actually. Yeah.
I mean, I have to say, we saw in that footage a little glimpse of the training.
Yeah.
And it looked like a fucking shambles.
It looked dog shit.
It was just kick-ups.
Yeah.
It's just like,
there wasn't sheep on the pitch. Like, it's madness.
So yeah, and this is the moment that the whole country's like, oh
yeah.
fuck.
Oh, absolutely.
And the next day, Ireland, the remainder of the squad and all the media, they fly to Japan for the World Cup, which is a week away, and Roy heads home to Cheshire. Has to sort his own flights out, which he often will mention on reflection.
Yeah.
Again, you sort of think someone should have sorted that out for him, but
Yeah.
I don't know. So he gets back to his home in Cheshire, where there's a media frenzy waiting for him. He's basically under siege.
Yeah.
And that is where we see these famous pictures that I think broke a lot of Irish hearts, because it's like, we're at the World Cup and Roy Keane is in Cheshire walking his dog.
Yeah. And he would come out bold as brass. He didn't care, just brazen with the dog.
Twice a day with the dog.
Twice a dog with the dog. Gotta give him he gotta get his steps in.
Yeah. So actually, even the highest levels of government get involved at this point, because the Taoiseach is back, Bertie O'Hearn.
He's back. He would do anything except do some work. Bertie O'Hearn.
Bertie tries and fails. No one wants to hear it. Man United try. They make a jet available to Roy. They say, if you want to go back, we will fly you to Japan. Direct.
Yeah.
None of this airport bullshit. But both Mick and Roy are refusing to enter peace talks.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Roy then gives yet another scathing interview to the Mail on Sunday, where he hits out at Mick again and his teammates. He says they have lower standards than me.
Yeah.
Which I think is
sounds about right.
true.
The boys received that news in the beefeater.
He's saying we got lower standards. Point. Another one. Anyway, so in this Mail on Sunday interview, he also says that he wouldn't play again for Mick McCarthy in a million years.
Right.
So you'd think it's over by now. And then he gives probably the most famous, there are many famous interviews in this, probably the most famous of all, when he sits down with RTE's Tommy Gorman, who apparently before this interview, a vague deal has been struck between people close to Roy and people close to Mick, that if Roy says a certain formulation of words, he will be welcomed back into the squad.
Right.
I'm not convinced Roy and Mick have actually said yes to this, but it's a sort of vague, people are desperate, they're trying to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But if they're hoping this olive branch will come from Roy Keane, they are mistaken.
Yeah.
Because instead he lays into the teammates who backed Mick. Do you want to do the quote?
People look at them as role models. They're cowards. If I went back, I couldn't give 100% for my country. when they had their chance to speak up, they didn't. Babies.
He's gone for him by this
Give
point.
me a break.
And to be fair, I think Tommy is as ridiculous in this interview. It basically descends into farce. Tommy's basically begging him
Yeah.
for 20 minutes to come back.
And it's so kind of mawkish and
Yeah.
over like, Roy, would you come back?
Yeah.
If he said he loved you, Roy. You know,
He bought you flowers.
It's so overwrought.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It's beautiful.
There's a little clip here.
Oh,
actually.
beautiful. I love this interview.
There's this very soft side to you. I saw you the other day when you were being pursued by the photographers, and a wee laddie says something to you about Manchester United, and you smile and you turned around to him and you said,
Could you
"Thanks very
see
much, son."
the thought going
I
through
saw
Roy's
your
face? What
children
the
waiting at
fuck
the
are you on
windows
about?
when you were coming home. They were delighted to see you home. Well, what about all the little kids in Ireland who have you as a role model, who love you, who would love to see you back in the World Cup, and who are absolutely appalled that this row has taken place and don't know what to say?
Exactly. Well, do you think I've enjoyed the last few days? It's been hard. Of course it has. I'd love to play in the World Cup. I played in '94. It was fantastic. 8 long years ago. And I've done no more, no less than the other lads in the squad to get us back. And I would love to play. Of course I would.
What another thing, I don't know if you have another clip from that interview, but there's another part, because what's so funny there is just like, you know, the kids, Roy, of Ireland, but he says like, they're appalled. They're appalled, Roy. The kid, have you gone around to every house, just every kid is just there, oh, they're playing
You
fucking
appalled?
Game Boy
Yeah.
Advance. Half of them don't
Yeah.
know what's going on. The kids of Ireland. And then he goes on to say, after this, he goes, and the teenagers, Roy, they're depressed. He said they don't want to play football anymore, Roy. They won't. And he says, this is haunting them, Roy.
Yeah, haunted.
Haunting them.
And Roy replies, "That'll pass. It's a football tournament."
Yeah. It's so funny. He goes, that'll pass. Yeah.
I think the teenagers
football
too busy. The teenagers too busy trying to pause that Holly Valance video. They couldn't give a fuck what
I
you
actually
did.
think maybe it's at the stage where you need a digital camera and you take a picture of the screen, 'cause you probably can't pause TV. We had our ways.
Oh, that's so fun. But the haunt, like that thing, they're just
Haunted.
the haunted teenagers of Ireland.
They're just waking up in a cold sweat. They're like,
The mental institutions overrun with the haunted teenagers of Ireland.
Because there's Roy's expression on his face at moments, it looks like he's going to laugh.
yeah.
They won't even wank anymore.
Not even Holly Valance.
The socks are completely clean, Roy. None of them are being filled. Roy, would you not do it? It's just crazy.
Yeah, Roy's pretty baffled.
Yeah, Roy's baffled.
He's got
In a way though, he's sort of wrong because he's like that'll pass. It's a football tournament.
Yeah.
And here we are.
It hasn't.
Here we are. How many
It
years?
truly hasn't. But is
23 years later.
it's 23 years later, but it's also on top of that, we've never been back to a World Cup. We've never had a team as good again. So there has been no catharsis. There has been no resolution. It's always looking back. That was our chance. And it's the what ifery of it all.
So whose side is everyone on?
Well, it's actually
Yeah.
split really. There's two camps.
It's very akin to the Irish Civil War, which took place in the aftermath of Irish independence, where it was like the Free Staters versus basically the Republicans. There is almost like families are turning against each other, and there's obviously a line of people who would say that no matter what happens, you don't abandon your country, you don't whatever. I don't care if McCarthy was pissed in your cornflakes. You play. You don't let down the country. And the children, Roy. the haunted children, Roy. You know? So there's that. And then there's a camp of like, Roy Keane is a man of principle. His standards, he's not putting up with this nonsense. He's not accepting this kind of paddywhackery, this bullshit where we're happy to be there. And he stood up for his principles. And Keane's a great man. And a brave man.
And can you guess what camp someone will be in?
Yeah, you can, yeah.
Based on like totally unrelated information that just...
Yeah. You can, yeah. Because people who'd be like Team McCarthy are like, they're company men.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like people who, well, these are the rules and you put up with it and you go. And whereas like Keane is appealing to the fucking kind of disagreeable kind of people, rebels, people, kind of Oasis crowd of fuck.
So is that 50-50 split, or is it
a 50-50? I would say I was Team Keane because I was a United fan, and I just thought, he's a man of principle. I was heartbroken. Truly.
Were you rooting against? Were you wearing Cameroon shirt, or were you just like
no,
Team Keane, but I still want it?
No, Team Keane, but I'm fucking up for Ireland.
Yeah.
And like we were all like, as and most of my friends would have been Team Keane, but there were plenty of people who were Team McCarthy at the time. I think now, looking back, and I think Keane has been on record himself as saying, if he could go back, he'd play. And like, when I look back as an adult now, I'm like, just fucking, because at the end of the day, it's pride.
Yeah.
And it is ego, and pride cometh before the fall and all that. And that's it. You've put your own ego and your own pride and your own sense of righteousness over the good of the team and the country that meant so much to so many people. So, that's where I stand on it now.
But because there are these two camps, it's something that everyone has an opinion about, right? And the supporters are just flooding onto the switchboards of radio call-in shows.
Oh, yeah.
Venting their anger at Roy and Mick, depending on whose side you're on.
Yeah.
One of the radio hosts brands it a black armband time. A caller said, Keane has signed our death warrant.
Yeah.
He said, Roy Keane isn't an Irishman to me anymore.
So that's funny. He signed our death warrant, and that's a call back to the Irish Civil War as well, where Michael Collins signed his death warrant.
Okay.
Yeah, signed his
Fucking
own.
hell, so that's quite heavy to lay on a football tournament.
Yeah, 100%.
Anyway, after all this, and with this open wound still very, very sore, Ireland's still got to go and play in the World Cup.
That's right.
Without him.
Yeah.
And actually, they do pretty well, right?
They do.
So, also quite a hard group. So, who have you got? Germany,
Cameroon,
Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, Saudi Arabia and Cameroon.
Yeah, I mean, it's not an easy group. And memorably, in the biggest game of all, you get a last-minute equaliser, Robbie Keane.
I mean, the Germany game, that last-minute equaliser is probably one of the most crystallized memories of my childhood. Like, it was, the whole country went bananas.
Yeah.
It's into extra time. High ball up, big Niley Quinn is after coming on, fucking rooting around, blood still in his face from throwing someone through a window at that nightclub. Knocks it on, fucking Robbie Keane. The only other person to score on Oliver Kahn in the World Cup was Ronaldo. Just Robbie Keane and Ronaldo. Gets on the top of it, in off the post, in. Keane's off doing that famous celebration, little cartwheel, he's fucking shooting into the crowd. Oh my God. And it's also, there's like the Mick McCarthy's reaction, because McCarthy is there on the sideline, and also the pressure on McCarthy at this point is immense.
Yeah.
Like, people are like, if you could have just fucking kept it in your pants and not, just kowtowed to Keane, he'd be here. But McCarthy's just leaning forward, and it's just... Oh man, magic! Even thinking about it gives me goosebumps.
But yeah, that's Germany who got to the final. Like, they were a class German team.
They were a class German team. Unbelievable. So that was the first thing in the group. That was sick. So we get out of the group.
Well, yeah, but before you do, straight after that Germany game, you think, okay, we're in with a chance here, so let's take this seriously. Naturally, the squad decide to go out till 4 a.m. after that game. You've got to play Cameroon in like a few days or whatever, but hey, it's party time. And you get out of the group, right? You draw with Cameroon and beat Saudi.
That's right.
Which means Spain.
That's right, Spain.
And again, you think, right, this is the biggest game for a lot of the players of their whole careers.
That's right.
It's a huge game. Spain are not like, they're not the Spain that come, 6 years later.
No, but they have, you've got Raúl Morientes.
Yeah, no mugs.
But
there's a bit of a sense that like maybe
Puyol's in there now,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
What's the famous number 6 Madrid?
Hierro.
Yeah. So Fernando Hierro's there.
It's a good team.
It's a very good team. You've Mendieta, you've all these guys.
But but people kind of think, who knows?
They
It's
had
one
a bit of a
game.
reputation as chokers as well. I think,
They
Spain.
before.
Yeah.
They were like known for was choking.
They were windy, they were kiting.
And therefore you think, right, let's knuckle down in training. We've got proper facilities now.
Right.
3 days before the game, the players actually decide to head out till 3 a.m. in an Irish pub.
Yeah. So they've left the beefeater behind.
Yeah, they've gone up. You know,
They've come back
yeah.
on side.
At least they're among
back on the
Irishmen.
mainland.
So
Yeah.
yeah, maybe there's something in that preparation. And then Damien Duff and Stephen Reed after that go to a comedy club where they go on stage and perform.
Brilliant. Excellent. It is.
So that Spain game comes and arguably you should have won it.
we should have.
So with Spain,
Yeah.
you had a penalty in normal time that.
So basically, we had a penalty that Ian Hart missed. Ian Hart missed a penalty. Damien Duff has the game of his life. He's given Spain a torrid time. And then last minute, we get another penalty. And it's a crazy penalty that Hierro gives away on Niall Quinn. Like, he's just pulling the shirt so visibly off Niall Quinn. It's like he got paid to do it. It's insane. So we get the penalty. Robbie Keane, Robbie's only about 21 at this stage, under immense pressure, fucking buries it. Sick. Go on, Keane, he's off cartwheel again.
What a feeling.
Oh, what a feeling. Shooting into the crowd. So it goes to penalties. But like, we had chances. We had chances to win it. Kevin Kilban had a great chance. There was a clearance off the line. There was, like we said, Ian Hart had missed a penalty. So we felt we'd outplayed Spain. And then obviously goes to the shootout. And a nasty penalty to win. Fucking Mendieta just fucking rolls it down the middle.
Oh, yeah.
And do you know what as well? The ball was coming and Given left his foot out and the ball took a bobble over his leg.
Inches.
Just literally inches.
So Irish hearts are broken there because you really feel like they could have done that. And they would have played Korea in the quarters, who, I mean, to be fair, Korea had some help along the way. They get to the semis, but you do wonder. Would have been a decent draw, South Korea.
We're fancying that we're going to beat Korea. We've already drawed with Germany.
And Spain.
And Spain without our best player and one of the best midfielders in the world and the best captain in the world.
Yeah, the guy you want in a World Cup.
The guy you want in the World Cup. The guy you want.
Yeah.
So crazy.
Sadly not to be. Obviously, Korea gets the semis and Brazil win the tournament. The Irish squad respond naturally by going on a big old bender. I mean, this is the one that's allowed.
The bender never stopped, really, did it?
They're always in the beefeater in their minds. They never leave.
This is the first guilt-free beefeater trip. At last, it's legit. 48 hours they're on the piss for, apparently.
Right.
No sleep.
Yeah.
Do you think the barman at whichever their favourite Irish bar was like watching the game, and as the last penalty goes in, he's like, we're going to have to get do a second order.
ain't closing tonight,
He's on the phone.
Yeah. Steve Staunton's going to be a hungry little boy.
Get some more sushi in, they said.
Yeah.
Sort of Irish sushi.
Just pieces of ham wrapped up in
In a tato.
a tato, yeah.
Damien Duff said at the end of the night, they're in Seoul, aren't they? They're in South Korea at this point. Yeah. Damien Duff says at the end of the night he finds Gary Kelly, Richard Dunn and Ian Hart sleeping on the streets of Seoul with no shoes on. He said they'd thrown their shoes in a bush to help them sleep.
Gary Kelly, whose famous contribution to the whole World Cup was hip hip hooray for Mick McCarthy.
Now you can do your hip hip hooray because we're out. Damien said, I'm not sure how well they slept on the streets, but that was just us in a nutshell. So everyone agreed it was a bit.
Right.
Yeah.
But to be fair, after the Spain game,
Do what you want.
do as you wish.
now
you know what I mean?
you can-
Now go crazy.
Yeah.
Right.
You say that they threw their shoes in a bush to help them
Yeah,
sleep.
I've never understood
Is that-
why. Is
Yeah.
it hard to sleep in your shoes?
But like,
Yeah.
why do they need to be thrown in a bush?
So no one will pinch him, probably.
Okay.
It's collector's item, that.
Do you know what, lads? I don't think rationale and logic were
Yeah.
major players.
Yeah.
At any point in the story.
in the story.
After a 48-hour bender.
Hip hip
definitely not.
hooray. It's just-
Yeah.
3 cheers.
Right. Yeah.
Anyway, when their hangovers do finally wear off, Ireland fly back home to Dublin, where the players get a good reception.
Yeah.
You know, they've done really well. They've done it
They've
without
done
their
great.
captain
Yeah.
as well, and you know everyone's proud of what they've done. But despite this pretty good performance, Mick McCarthy is under increasing pressure. Obviously, he sort of lost the camp a bit during the tournament. And after disappointing start to the next qualifying campaign for the Euros, Mick resigns in November 2002. So that's the end of the road for him. As for Roy, it's fair to say that he held a grudge.
No one holds one better or longer than I.
Yeah.
That cunt doesn't let go, man.
There's something
but I
quite,
love him. I
something
do love
quite sort of, I don't want to use the word rock star, like an American tech recruiter, but like
Yeah.
there's something a bit rock and roll about like people who will just stick up for what they think and not budge, no matter how much like money or glory is on the table. It's just like, no, fuck it.
That's
it's
right.
quite a rare beast in sport, in anything now.
He has a level of backbone and integrity and conviction that is so rare. And he had it on the pitch. Never once did he shy out of a tackle on the pitch. Never once did he not give absolutely everything he had. So he backed up. He wasn't a mouthpiece who talked one thing and did another in every action of his life.
Yeah.
See, great family man, great father, great, like, you know, a great man to visit children in hospitals, great. Like Andy Cole was even saying, like, recently, like, Andy Cole was in hospital at something and he's like, Keane was the only, like, former United player who came to visit him. You know what I mean? Like, he's just, he has a decency there underneath it all, but he will not fucking suffer cowards. And that is kind of fucking sick.
Yeah.
That is
and
legendary.
quite rare.
And fucking rare.
Yeah,
I am a weasel, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, same.
I'll bend, I'll kowtow. You know what I mean? I'll fucking drink till 6 at the Beefeater. You know what I mean? I'll do a 2-hander comedy duo with Damien Duff, you know? Fuck's sake.
Yeah. Respect it, but fucking hell, he's mental.
Yeah, mental.
Anything more to say on that? I don't think there is.
I think it sounds like we're all Team Roy.
Yeah, Team Roy.
Yeah, team
Fuck
fucking
it.
Roy.
Yeah.
Stick that up your bollocks.
Take that off your bollocks, McCarthy. That's a great ending.